Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. That was a compliment.
All right, ladies.
Daddy, and we'll be listening to X-Wave do an in-your-face cast between Technoid, who is on the bottom left-hand side at the 7 o'clock position.
Oh my God!
And Anarchy, who's the Terran, and he is going to be at the, what did you say, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, 9:30, 10.
He's going to be the light gay Terran.
It's purple.
It's light
Totally
gray.
purple.
Look at it. It's light gray. Look at it.
It's light gay.
You are some colorblind people.
I'd like to introduce my casting partner, X-Wave. Say something, X-Wave. Anything.
Something X-Wave. I will talk a little.
I promise not to talk over you.
Well, that's a great introduction. Good start. The game has begun. We got a pylon down. We got a supply depot down. Nothing too crazy here so far. Probes and SCVs being made. You know, one of the reasons we chose this map for this competition is that there's a lot of expansions here. So, you know, this will give both players the ability to get an army going and give us some sense of a game here. Without either one feeling threatened immediately, just to give us that possibility. What do you think is going to happen, John? Vec Daddy.
Well, I think that obviously Technoid decided to go double pylon instead of a gateway, so
yes.
He is going to be
a lot of supply.
Trying to get that worker count up, I believe.
Yeah, he's got 13 to 19 supply. He's going to rocket up to 13 out of. No, it was 13. Okay, 15 out of 26 supply now. So just
First Rax is almost done. Second Rax has gone down for Anarchy.
Yes.
And being an in-your-face cast, that should worry Chuck, because we're telling Anarchy that he has nothing, absolutely nothing going on, and 2 Rax are ready to start pumping out Marines. He could actually get some early pressure here if he wants.
Anarchy's also scouting around the map. All over the place.
Gateway is halfway done. Throwing down a forge as well. Obviously going to have to try and get some cannons up to protect his base if he is feeling that he's going to get some early pressure from Terran.
Anarchy likes the wall in. Interesting.
Well, it's a good strategy.
He's Terran.
He's Terran. Going to turtle
Why
wall
not?
in. Yeah, got Vespene going down here for Anarchy and the orbital. 2 Marines at a time.
And here is the Anarchy worker. He has found Technoid. I don't think that SCV might not be able to get out because 2 cannons just went down on the ramp.
Yeah, it depends on how long he waits.
Run, 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 little SCV.
I think he wants to get a bunch of scouting information so he knows what's going on here.
Well, and in your face cast, is early scouting really that important?
You know, there are things that we say, and what we could do is start to lie. We could just lie, bald-faced lie to these guys while we're casting, and that could just, you know, add to the mystery. Who knows? Force them to actually play a little bit in scout. So there goes a Technoid.
SCV hasn't been found.
It's been found, yes. So the proxy,
Get those
nothing
minerals home.
has been stopped. So we have Zealot and 2 cannons as defense here, which, you know, will hold the line against a bunch of Marines, I think.
What was that? I just saw Technoid put all his workers back to work.
Ooh, I missed that, but that's a common thing. If you accidentally,
Wow.
if you've had this happen, you click on a probe or an SCV and you get all of them accidentally, and you tell them all to do something. And looks like the SCV's queued up a little bit. There are no profanities being written down on the screen, but there are, you know, some kind of satanic worship going on. With
Third Rax is done, and the expansion is down at the back.
There goes a defensive cannon. I think he really wants to kill that probe. Okay, so what do you see here going on in Anarchy space?
Another expansion. Anarchy's got 2 expansions going down right now.
Go BC.
That's the thing that you do when you've got 3 bases on one side of a walled-in ramp.
And again, he selects all of his SCVs. Uh-oh.
Okay, there goes the second Nexus.
This SCV.
Finally!
Oh, no.
Units lost tab shows. 1 unit gone for Anarchy. Down 50. Can Anarchy recover?
We get the factory down for Anarchy.
Factory's almost done. All kinds of add-ons here.
Yep, Tech Lab and a reactor.
Anarchy is no slouch. if you are playing against Anarchy, you are going to need some area of effect damage producing units, because there's going to be a lot of Marines, and they're going to have upgrades and stuff.
Units tab, we got 7 Marines versus 2 Zealots.
Yep, mules
Still
on the
not ready.
field. We have 29 probes for Technoid, only 20 SCVs, and 1 mule that will not make up the difference. You can see that Technoid is pulling away, and a couple of those probes were busy making, SCVs were busy making buildings, so not all of them actually mining. So that's also going to be a part of that.
2 gateways now done for Technoid, and dropping the robotics facility.
Technoid has a lot of money right now. He could expand all over the map if he wanted to, but there's something to be said about why expand when you don't have enough probes to saturate, that many bases.
Well, to be ready, I guess.
Well, you got chrono boost from additional nexuses. Terran's got more mules he can drop for every command center, so Terran's got an immediate advantage. I think both players would have an immediate advantage because you can make more probes. What's 1 more probe you can make at a time, so you can make 3 instead of 2. It's not like I'm hinting that he should expand, but I am hinting that he should expand right now.
And there's the factory starport switch from Anarchy. Obviously, with that reactor, he's going to want to be getting out fast heal buses for his MMM.
And quite possibly Vikings later, depending on what he sees or hears us say that Anarchy's going to make. Here come the first medvacs being made.
A second robotics facility for Technoid, and more gateways. 3 more gateways.
I think Technoid's going to try the white raw build.
Union probe. I found a Union probe.
Yep, there it is.
So
and
exactly
the Union probe
as I
has
thought,
been
2
selected.
heal buses.
What will
Coming
happen
out.
now? There we go. It's put to work there. Now there's four probes on that Vespene geyser.
Interesting that he's spent all this money to drop all these buildings, and these buildings are doing absolutely jack.
Nothing. Yeah. So we have a lot of gateways, but we're not,
gateways.
and we're
2
floating a
robotics
lot of
facilities.
cash. There's just a ton of money here sitting around for Technoid. Anarchy, on the other hand, is spending that money. He's only got a couple hundred minerals in the bank, where Technoid has 2,000 minerals in the bank. There's a pretty sizable army on the field for Anarchy at the moment, and you know what he's going to do with all this money he's spending right now. He's dropping supply. He's building army. If you go to
there's the robotics bay. It has completed. Warp in has completed.
Warp gates.
It looks like this is going to be, and it is, Colossi.
I don't have enough gas.
Yes, he says he doesn't have enough gas, and that's true, but he does have a lot of Vespene geysers, although no one's mining on them. And an expansion would be great, because, with the 2,300 minerals you have, you could create a whole another expansion in that place right here where there is none.
Siege is complete, and tank is out.
Checking to make sure I'm
Second
not
one
muted.
cooking.
So at this point, Technoid's using his massive APM to create 2 Colossi, and that is it.
Is he warping in anything at the ramp? No,
No,
he's
no,
not.
he's like,
There's no army.
he's like, fuck you, I don't really care about this game. Another starport coming up. We have Marine Marauder, Supply, Stargate, more workers, Thermal for the Terran, and Thermal Lance for
Why
the
can't I build
Protoss.
any? Oh,
Well, because you can't build any because you're supply blocked.
And your SCV was standing in the way.
And you're almost mined out, and you haven't dropped your 3rd expansion yet. So, have you heard us talk about that at all? The possibility that maybe you should expand.
you guys are being assholes.
Technoid just spent some money.
Yes,
What
he did something. His APM probably rocketed up to 25. There we go.
And the second expansion is down finally.
That's right. We may be assholes, but we're your assholes. We're here looking out for you.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate it.
So now he's got a little bit of supply gap there. Let's see what he does with that. Should be, a reminder. So he's chrono boosting out Thermal Lance. Anarchy is hanging back, getting ready for Armistice Day here. Back at his base, he's producing medvacs and Vikings. He probably was supply blocked there for, and is again supply blocked. He's got to make a lot of supply depots because he has a lot of production.
Yeah, and almost doubling the supply.
Yep.
Almost doubling the supply of Technoid.
There we go. So almost an entire minute after those pylons were done, floating 2,000 minerals, Technoid brings some stalkers onto the field. There's some scans going down. So Anarchy can see exactly what's going on.
Let's look for upgrades. We got 000 for Technoid. We have 00 for the infantry, ground infantry.
But we have uprun shields, +1 shields being produced. We have Colossus on the field. You know what I find interesting though? If you look at the units, only 2 Vikings on the field at the moment, and there are 4 Colossi. Alrighty. He spent some critical APM moving those Colossi around, so that was good.
Wow.
So there's
what would you say that was in game? Is that like 4 meters, 5 meters that they moved?
They moved quite a bit. They're behind that pylon now, so there.
Here we got some map control aggression from Anarchy.
Yep.
Good idea.
That does look, you know, in game they do look gray. I have to say that, you know.
They look very gray.
The units look gray. Just kind of weird because you know, he's totally purple.
All right, we got some
oh my God,
really gray Marines taking over the.
Let's see what happens now. So we have a lot of stalkers being warped in. We're beginning to close up the gap here on the supply. We have a bunch of Vespene geysers. We aren't seeing that many probes being produced at this point.
And really, there's very little more army that Anarchy can make.
He's almost maxed out.
He's almost at supply cap.
And you know, he has enough supply depots to get him to full supply. He does
and
have
look at the middle of the board.
Death ball.
A huge ball.
Yes, it's coming. There are more Vikings now. There's 6 Vikings. So it's going to be cannons, stalkers, and colossi here. Let's see. It's all about the micro at this point.
When the scan goes down, he's going to take out that cannon. I think that cannon right now is just inconsequential.
And he's like, okay, I'm just going to get that other cannon, you know. It's fine. So we are getting closer and closer on that supply gap. Looks like we're having a Vespene deficiency for Technoid, though. He's only got a 200 Vespene. Warping in a couple more units.
And
does he have what it takes?
Does he
have the right answer to Anarchy's army? They're close to full supply. The harass. He's moving those Colossus back. Look at that APM shoot up into the 50s for just a second.
He's got the council down, but still nothing for...
He's getting ready. Does he know what's going on? He can't see what's happening, and he can't see what's going on up there, but that scan gives some visibility.
Oh, and the Immortals take a big hit. They take 2
Here
points
comes
off
the
of
thermal lance with the...
Oh, bad placement for those Colossi.
Oh my God.
So, get eaten alive.
We're watching the supply drop for both of them. Who's it going to drop for the most? We have a lot of tanks still on the field. You know...
2 Immortals versus that many siege sub tanks, and
I don't see a warping behind that. So that, you know, it dropped a lot.
Knows exactly how this is going to work.
It dropped a lot for Anarchy, but it also dropped more for Technoid. And Anarchy is in the base here.
Oh no!
Chrono boosting on the last side. Yeah, he just tried to walk up on those and suicide those in there. There's no armor to speak of for Technoid. The siege is coming down. Siege tanks just erasing those first units as they come in. Need those pylons anyway. So that's Chrono boosting out those
the
those
tanks
Colossus.
that do have 1 to weapons, and so they're doing extra damage. Oh no!
Right over here, we're taking this out.
Take a beating.
He has finally saturated that expansion.
gonna take the
are flying
Vikings
around.
down south and probably land them there.
Yeah. Total dick move by Anarchy, but it's well worth it to kill all those probes. Uh-oh. What's happening here? It's a GG. All right, we had a Dark Templar building coming down, but a little too late by Technoid. What happened there, Technoid?
I don't know. I'm just not good at a macro game.
You're right. You're not. You know, I will say we did let you know clearly several times you needed to get that other expansion, get that third Vespine set going. Ouch. You almost caught up with him on Army, and then I think that the micro there I would not have I would have kept those Colossus back, let him come up the ramp, come up to greet you, and just waste him away from a little with those Colossus with that thermal lance. They were too far forward.
Colossi got to stay behind the army, not out in front.
Behind the Stalkers, and you snipe those Vikings.
I watched those Colossi go out front, and I was just like, oh no, you have my permission to die.
Yeah.
On his defense, I didn't micro my Vikings to target him and all. I kind of just let my army die.
No, I don't think it was your Vikings that touched the Colossi.
That makes it worse for him then, because you still
walked into range of the tanks.
You face rolled him, so yeah. Thanks for telling us that you just A-moved on that one, so good.
Just let go.
Well, I never really caught up to him in Army.
Actually, you were within striking distance on Army. If you weren't, you had a supply blockage, and you had plenty of money. That's the thing. You had the minerals.
Right, and we were telling you, you have all these buildings that can produce Army, and they were idle.
Yeah, but what I could produce from, I could produce Zealots.
No, in the early game, you could have, while you were waiting for Warpgate, have brought out, you know...
Zealots.
With his composition,
you could have had Stalkers and Zealots.
He was heavy tank with Vikings. He didn't have a lot of Marines. He had a good number, but he didn't have a lot of Marines. He didn't have that many Marauders. I think a whole bunch of speed lots would have devastated his army.
Well, you know, give
speed lots with those Colossi, I think that would have been perfect.
That's what you always need, is something to hold back the army away from the Colossus. Anyway, that's another sibling rivalry between Technoid and Anarchy on the Cheese Brothers In Your Face cast. Stay tuned for more In Your Face action on the Cheese Brothers.
Talk then when he's breathing.
Oh, hold on.
My color is I'm light gray, by the way.
He does like gray?
Yes, light gray is my color.
You mean you're pink?
No, I'm light gray.
That's purple.
It's a light gray.
Why would that say? It doesn't look like light gray to me, or the viewers at home.
That doesn't look like gray. That looks like
That's what
gay.
it says.
Light
gray.
That's light gay.
I'm pink. Are you talking about mine, which is pink?
You're totally gay.